we can set up groups for any dimension. This means that we can set up a dimension group for classes, for locations, for departments, etc. I've just got a couple here that I've set up for classes. If we look at the setup of those dimension groups themselves, we'll see that there's the option to set up a group type. In this case, I've set up a group type called specific members, and I've chosen 2 members, so 2 different classes to include in this group type. More commonly, and probably preferably, I would suggest using the class type all members. And the reason for this is that if you set the group type to all members, every time I add a new class into the system, if the class meets those requirements, so there's our class type custom field that I set up earlier. If the class type is accommodation, that class will automatically be added to this dimension group. So the planning of your dimensions then becomes critical in the way that you set them up and the way that you use your class IDs, your class names, your custom fields, because it affects how they get added into these dimension groups. Let's look at that in practice. So I'm going to go to my dimension groups under Report Setup Dimensions, and I'm going to go to Class. So here you'll see that I've got 2 class groups set up. I want to set up a 3rd class group, and in this case, I'm just going to call this, and I'm going to use conferences as a class group. And I usually put something to indicate that it's a class, that it's a group and not a dimension code by just putting group on the end of it, because it just makes it easier to stand out when I'm filtering using dimensions. My conferences group, I'm choosing all members. I could say specific members and then go down and select those members individually, but as I said, then they won't automatically be added to this group, so I'm going to choose all members. Just as a brief aside, you'll see this dimension structure tick box here. I always tick that as I go through it, and I'll explain dimension structures in the next step. Now that I've selected all members, I can come down to my field and say, okay, well, how do I want to filter these dimensions? So if I have a quick look and see see what dimensions I have in the system. So I'm just jumping across back to my classes. And I'll see here I've got my conference dimension, I've got my events, and so on. I want to include any class that has a name, Haynes, C-O-N-F. If I save that, I'll see I've now got my new group, and if I look at the members of that group, I'll see that it's including all of these classes because they've all got conferences on them. But let's say, for example, I don't want to include catering in this group. I can go back to that group and I can change this to say class type does not equal catering, and save members. There we go. So now we've got just the 2 classes that I want to include in that group. So what is the reason for doing that? The reason for doing that is when we get around to running our reports, I can now use those groups in my reporting. So let's say, for example, I just go and look at a very simple report. I'll jump across to my entity level, and I'm going to go to general ledger, and I'm going to go to trial balance. And as with most reports, you do get a filter here for your different dimensions. And I look at my filters and I can see, right, there's my different dimensions. Okay. And here's my group that I've just set up, conferences group. So if I just include that, that's only going to pull in data relating to the classes that are associated with that conferences group. Let's go back to our slideshow. Okay. We can use those filters anywhere with any of our standard reports or with our financial reports. The filters will still work, whatever we're looking at.